people don't want to suffer, but yet I have the choice not to suffer, and yet I'm still not fully taking that choice not to suffer because I'm still in love with the attachments somehow, some way.
Your reflection is great, and you rightly said that the mind continues to identify with the attachment, with a projected pleasure into it. They causes the delusion, anxiety, reaction, but still the mind says, after all, it gives me the pleasure, so I will continue to stick with it. And that is why they are known as the impurities of the mind. But once you experience the sense of oneness, drops the identification with the body.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that experience causes the fear in the impure mind, not in the knowledge part.
Yeah.
So it means there are a lot of impressions still buried inside our mind that needs to be cleared.
Yeah.
I have one client, one student who is 70-year-old. 2 months ago, she or he, I don't want you to identify, he or she identified, oh, I will go for a date. I'm going for a date I have chosen. He or she is very wonderful. Okay. I said nothing. I said, okay. So after a week, he or she wrote me back and that no, he or she is so crazy and I will never go for a date. I remember that your voice I hear in my mind, that you are the same projected pleasure. And he or she wrote to me, at this is, my mind is still projecting the pleasure in a person in an opposite sex. This is too much. Then I told him or her to stop communicating with me. That is the end of relationship, and I felt too much of relief.
Hmm.
Again, after a month, he or she wrote to me, you see how these impurities chases you. It is worth listening and understanding. So he or she spent watching romantic movies. He or she is retired, living a retired life. A lot of money like you, and so she or he does not have any problem. She or he continued to watch the romantic movies for 5 days, 5 hours per day. That is what exactly she or he wrote to me. And then what happened? Suddenly, she or he realized this is craziness. You have told me many a times. He or she wrote to me, I promise you it will never happen, this projected pleasure. I said, wonderful. You are learning, you are becoming a seeker. That is how we learn. So sometimes we claim that we have reached to that state, but we have to wait. We have to wait. Continue the practice. Continue the practice. And your mind will put you in a different situation, event, condition, in relationship. There you see there is a power of discernment that keeps you the clarity. You continue to live into that state of the calmness. You have achieved, you gain the power of discernment. He or she wrote to me, you told me hundreds of times the power of discernment and dispassion. And now I could see, I feel relieved. but I committed a mistake. He said, forget about the mistake. You have reached to a new level of awareness without me. That is worth appreciating.
Yeah.
That is how the Eastern wisdom works. We have to unplug our mind, and then only we can find our real self. Unplug. If we don't unplug our mind, unplug. If we don't unplug our mind, nothing is going to happen. Why we unplug the mind? When it is plugged, it is the false I is working. The false I can rationalize, can dominate the intellect, means the knowledge, and it will take you somewhere else. How the master teaches us, the master says that you had seen the dream, very pleasant dream. But the moment you wake up, your mind falsify the dream and you start your day. But if you don't falsify the dream, you continue to identify with the dream, then you are not a seeker. You keep thinking about the dreams, you are a non-seeker then. Any dream comes. Maybe the dream that you are President of United States. You exercise power. You like Trump, you say 25% tariff is good. You don't like, but in the dream, you reduce the traffic again, tariff again. But you have seen it, but you don't keep on thinking about it because you falsify the dream. Same way, you falsify all the thoughts of projected pleasure, projected pain that takes place in different situations, event, people, in relationship. You are free. You are free there and then. You see those events taking place every day like a rainbow, like a mirage water, like the blueness of the sky, the way your intellect falsifies the dream the moment you wake up. As long as you are in dream, there is no way to drop it. But the moment you wake up, you falsify the dream.
Yeah.
Why the master says, learn this, listen and learn, contemplate and reflect, so that you can easily wake up in the event, situation, and relationship which has been projected. Mind is seeking the false pleasure. There, this intellect will come with the knowledge of self awareness, with the power of discernment and dispassion. It will falsify. You are free. That freedom, how that freedom has come, that freedom means the rise in awareness, self awareness. Intellect has not only understood inside, but the intellect has passed on the knowledge to the mind, and the mind has accepted it. The moment the mind has accepted, it has dropped the pleasure, projection, delusion. You are free. But it doesn't happen on a single day. What should we do? We have to practice meditation without fail every day. And then we should give half an hour more. What happened today in my meditation practice? What happened? What should happen. Two parts. So I practiced meditation today. My mind was distracted. That projection, that delusion did not allow me to succeed. You return from the meditation, your intellect and the mind says, I will surely succeed tomorrow. There is no problem. You are a seeker. Your mind says, I do not like to do it because it causes lot of distraction. You are a non-seeker.
Yeah.
So say for example, five days in a row you fail, and every time the intellect is very clear. Intellect says, no, I fail to succeed. On the sixth day, you succeed. The whole day pass peacefully in calmness, in joy, and your intellect analyzes, oh, when I succeed, the whole day passes peacefully. It means I have to, now on the seventh day you are doing the practice, seventh day your intellect is extremely vigilant. It doesn't allow the distractions of the 5 days of the past. And then you move into the next step further. That is how the practice grows, the seed starts becoming a sapling. That is why I insist all the way that without practice, without listening and repeat listening and learning, sitting and contemplating and reflecting, this journey does not take place successfully. Unplugging you, that is the way of unplugging.
Yeah.
We unplug from the mental illusions, delusion, projections, the way the moment we wake up, we unplug completely from the dreaming state. Oh, I'm awaker now. Dream is gone. One day will come when your mind will still project the pleasure and you say, I'm awake now. Delusion is gone. You are free. Otherwise, 70-year-old he or she, still when we become 70-year-old, we will still project the pleasure outside. We still feel defeated. We will continue to have the same anxiety which we have started in our teen and adult. We are repeating the same. And outside we claim, I have lived 70 years. You are the craziest person. That is what happens. So when the Buddha says the entire, because you will continue to suffer from birth after the death, birth after the birth. This is the meaning. That today I could not live into peace and the joy throughout the day. And I know because I projected the pleasure outside, I lived in delusion, I suffer. I do the same next day. I do the same in the third day. I don't have any level of peace and calmness throughout a week. And then I repeat that weeks after weeks, months after months, years after years. I'm now 70. Do you want to live more years? I want to live for 200 years. I'm trying. I'm taking a lot of medications. This is how we want to live anyhow, but in anxiety. But in repeat anxiety, we don't become aware of it. So the Eastern wisdom says we have to think of this. How to unplug this? How to unplug this? I have to spot the pattern. Compare the outer dream versus the inner dream. I'm in a dream. I wake up in the morning. Oh, I have to call my honey. He or she loves me. Hold on, mind. First go into the peace and the happiness within you. Then you should call the honey. I have to take the right action at that moment. I have to recognize that glitch.
Yeah.
If you don't recognize, how you recognize the glitch? By repeat listening, understanding the principles, and then applying that in your daily scenario. We are constantly bombarded with information, social media. One guy in the New Jersey, he is so much upset with what the Trump is doing, and he is not at all related to any party. It gives him too much of pressure into his heart. And the doctor said that if you don't care, it will have serious consequences. And he blames him. But now he has calmed down in a group session. So this is the outer dream is projected into my mind. I invited the problem myself. Our president is not going to his house and asking him or creating a problem, but I take the problem. It's a very, this is exactly that in a waking state, I'm living a dream. Even I'm awake fully, but still I'm living in a dream. That is how the mind causes undue stress in our life. I don't question myself. I have to sit down. My master used to say that when you contemplate and reflect, think that you are meditating, don't move your body and eyes are closed, and then you start questioning because that will help you to keep into a higher level of awareness for contemplation and reflection. Don't just listen like a podcast. No, you have to contemplate and reflect. Pay more attention, focused, and then it will go away. And today, just before he said that when you told me watch the flow of the breath, we did the same, more or less the same practice last week. So when you told me that just observe, feel the flow of the breath, I realized that all the crazy thoughts, they came, they did not disturb me, and they left. And I was totally in a deeper state of the calmness. I said, I've been telling you for the last 1 year. I'm asking your attention to listen to me. You did not listen. But why you didn't listen? Your crazy mind did not listen, which kept on projecting the delusion outside. Then it loses the attention. How to gain that attention? Regular practice. Repeat practice. Repeat, and repeat practice. Contemplation and reflection. So can you imagine? You are super intelligent and a genius guy in your profession, but it took you 1 year to reach to that state of awareness. Go back, find out your last year audio, and you will see that I use the word flow of the breath. So it means for the last 1 year, in the waking state, you were living a dream life. Living in a projected delusion, anxiety. So, because we identify with our memories, imaginary ideas, I told him a story. It's a very famous story in India. Almost every master says it. So in India, we had a washerman in ancient India, 1,000 years ago. They used to have pet donkeys. This washerman has two donkeys. So he used to go to every door, the way we have the garbage bin. So days are fixed, and that washerman at a particular time used to knock the door, and people used to give him the clothes. He used to bundle them out. This is the red color bundle, white color, etc. 10 houses. He used to load it on the donkeys, used to go to the river. He used to wash the clothes and return. And he used to wash the clothes, and then he used to dry on the trees there. That was the ancient Indian practice. So he had two donkeys. He loaded all the clothes. He reached to the river. You see, it's such a strong parable, metaphor. If you contemplate and reflect on it, you will be free from all the delusions from today, this time. Last week I told him the story. So anyhow, so he tied the leash to a tree of the first donkey, and he said, "Oh, I forget the leash, to how to tie this second donkey, and if I don't tie, the donkey will leave me, and then it will be a problem." So he sat down, he started crying. A monk was passing by. He saw him, asked him what happened. Oh, this is, oh, monk said, "It's so easy. It's very easy but I don't have a leash, so no worries. Don't worry about it." So he went to the second donkey, and he imaginary rope. He moved his hand around the neck of the second donkey with an imaginary rope, and then he approached near to the tree, and he moved around the tree as if he tied down the second donkey. Within a minute, the donkey sat down and rested. Oh, thank you, monk. The monk said, "I will continue to sit with you. I know which another problem is going to come, and I have to solve it. Let me." So he dried all the clothes, he loaded on both the donkeys. So he removed he removed the leash from the first donkey. He already loaded the clothes on the second donkey, but the second donkey kept sitting, He's not standing up. He asked the monk, "What happened to this? There is no leash, there is no rope, why he is not standing up?" The monk said, "That is what I'm going to teach you. Go to the second monkey. I tied him with an imaginary rope. You have to untie with the same imaginary rope. So go to the donkey, practice how you untie, go to the tree, move around." Within no time, he stood up. That donkey is our mind. Imaginary rope, my honey causes me the problem. I will divorce, I will fight. I don't have the money, that's why I have a problem. No, I have a lot of the stress. One woman who had a lot of stress, she doesn't express, but she whispered in my, she told me separately, she attends a group session. So whenever I talk about my problem, just take it for granted it is related to my honey. She is already in her 70s. Too much. Too much. Imaginary rope. So that donkey with an imaginary leash. What is that imaginary leash? You are responsible for my problem. I made a mistake because I got married to you. Can you reverse it? No. Drop this imagination. So sometime he got that awakening because of this story, and then he shared, you see, flow of the breath. That is how this Eastern wisdom journeying of leveling up the wrong character. We have to level up the wrong character created in imagination. Now think of it, my delusion is created in imagination. What I have to do? I have to remove the same delusion through the same imagination. How to do it? My thought says that you are responsible for my stress. So, how to do it? I use the intellect and I say that you cannot be responsible for my stress. That is what the reflection is. We don't reflect. We don't reflect. Why we don't reflect? The mind is dictating us. We don't. That is what is meaning of leveling up the wrong character. Are you playing someone else's game? Mind is playing someone else's game. Don't do that. If you do that, it will, then what happens? You will continue to chase for external validation. You will continue to chase the external world for validation, for pleasure, for avoiding the pain. Oh, thank God, now I divorce. No, you are creating another problem. You have the impressions of that imaginary rope of a divorce. Initially, you had the imaginary rope of a marriage. Now you have an imaginary rope of a divorce. Your mind is not free yet. I have to get rid of both. That level of awareness and that understanding, I have been telling you, comes by practice, listening and learning. Repeat listening, and then you close your eyes, sit for half an hour. What is the message? What are the principles this beer guide touched upon it? You are not listening to me, you are listening the principles of Eastern wisdom. What exactly? Can I see the delusion? Or can you see the rainbow? Yes, that is a delusion. Can you see the blueness in the sky? That is a delusion. Can you see the water in the mirage? That is a delusion. No, but my mind, my thought says, you are my soulmate. Hold on. Hold on. Can anyone be soulmate? Find out. If you go into the meaning, can anyone be your soulmate? But why I say it is a soulmate? Because, I have a feeling of a thrill and excitement. Oh, so your excitement and a feeling of a thrill and the sensuality is what you refer to the soulmate? Explain the same feeling to your soulmate. Soulmate is going to leave you at the next moment. So you have created a delusion. Outer expression is different, inner feeling is different. You have created a duality.
Well, as soon as you call someone your soulmate, that would be creating a duality as well.
What is exact? Define the soul mate. So your soul, my soul, they are mating each other. Why you have a problem in the body and the mind? It is
Well, I
soulmate.
mean, yeah, I mean, just to say, just to, even isn't the statement "I have a soul"? Isn't that duality? Saying "I have a soul"? That's two things.
Yeah.
That's not even accurate.
Yes, even that is not accurate, and then we give a name to another person. She is a girl or he is a boy. You are my soul. Oh no, he is a girl and a boy. That is another duality. So our mind plays with 5 or 6 levels of duality. When I say someone that you are my soulmate, that projects the pleasure. And oh, that happened to you, I remember now. At least she should send me the message. Why the hell she should send you the message?
Because I was a fool.
Yes. Yes, it happened to you, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. It's happened to me many times in my life,
That
and
is the
it's
problem.
so much suffering, so much suffering.
So, do you want to continue the same repetition until you become 70 like he or she?
No, that's my one of my biggest fears in life. Is that I, as honestly, is that I, my one of my biggest fears in life, Girish, is that I get to the age of 70, 80, 90, whatever, and I'm still dealing with the same stuff. To me, that's a wasted life.
That is the waste of life. You are with the right person. You recognize the delusion, you recognize the projection, and don't allow it to enter into your mind repeatedly for a week or 2 week or 3 week or 4 weeks until the mind instantly recognizes the delusion and throws it out of your system. You are done. It is not going to happen then after when you are 70 years. You'll be a
Yeah.
wise person. We are trying to fix the external problem, illusion of external solution. It will never happen.
No.
When things go wrong, we try to fix the external circumstances. You say, I love you, I will be happy. Very good. So you said to me that I love you, but in my presence, you start loving someone else. That is another delusion. No, no, you told me that you say I love you, so I have said it. But I'm loving someone. It's the greatest chase of peace, of love, of happiness in the world outside, and it can never be achieved. Why? Because it is just a delusion. And this delusion is caused at 3 levels. First, at the level of the sense organs, you are obsessed with some sound or music. You are obsessed with the sense of touch, sense of sight, sense of the smell, or sense of the taste. You get obsessed. Obsession means projection of a pleasure there. Craving simply means that I have projected the pleasure there. There is nothing more than that. Be very clear about it. Second delusion comes that if I have $10 million, I will be happy. What is the delusion in that? We need money to meet the basic needs of our life. That is okay. We need to earn. We will continue to earn. But what is the delusion that $10 million, I will be rich, and if I'm rich, I will have no problem? Does the $10 million lying in your bank account says that you are rich? Or I associate myself, projected the pleasure, then I declare that I'm rich. That is another delusion. And the third is all about sensuality or sex, that animal has this. So these three factors causes unending projection and delusion. It results into anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict, and ultimately we reach to a level of a crash. You know what we see, the lag and the crash. What is lag and the crash? That is the source of the stress. Now what happens? Intellect is gone. My intellect reflects the same projection what the mind does. Mind is seeking pleasure, and intellect says yes. I get defeated, I get pain, but mind says, okay, next time you do it, you will have no problem. Oh, with the first girl cheated you, no problem. Go to the second one. I went to the second one, I'm still defeated. Go to the third one, I'm still defeated. And the mind says, no, continue. That is your life. This time you will be a winner. And you are never a winner, and you become 70 years old. That is lag in the crash, the source of the stress. And your mind is asking every time, why does everything feel so overwhelming? Because you are crazy. No. I'm saying that why I feel everything is overwhelming to me, because you are crazy. Change the direction of the mind. Not from outside. Don't look outside, look inside. You have projected a delusion. Do you see that?
Yeah.
But majority of the people, I can tell you, 80-90% of the people, they don't understand, or I can say they don't want to understand. No, I feel overwhelmed because of my honey. When you got married, 20 years ago, before 20 years, did you know your honey? No, because I was single. So, did you get overwhelmed before that? Yes, many a times. So, it means she is not responsible for your being overwhelmed. Oh, yes, then who is that? You. You have projected the pleasure. You are dependent on the others, the situation, the people, and that is where we cling to the illusions and fear the glitches, the uncertainties, and the challenges of the life.
Girish, in certain regards, isn't it sometimes we can learn from the animals. Like if we, let's just say we're going to talk about sensual pleasure, right? Like animals have sex without attachment. It's just for pleasure. It's just to release that energy. Now, is that something to learn from, or is that ignorance?
Very important question. So the tigers are shy animals. They always want to live alone. They only meet in a mating season. They remain together for a month or two, and once the couple is sure that pregnancy is done, and then they choose their path. The same thing with the cheetahs. More or less same thing with the cheetahs. Same thing with the hyenas in a different way. The female is the leader of the group or the herd. They choose the male mates, and the female hyena asks the male to run away, leave the herd. Otherwise, you will make prey to the other female in my group, which I will not tolerate. Better to leave. Now think of it. Can you choose one option out of those animals?
No.
Finished. So what option we have to choose? We are a human being. They don't have an idea of a doership. It is their animal instinct, or I would say the nature has provided them the automatic mechanism to produce their offspring in their ways decided by the nature, and they say goodbye. So we cannot choose.
Yeah.
But we are a doership. We have a doership. No animals have a doership.
What does that mean?
Doership. They don't have an ego. They don't have an I thought that I am mating with you, I'm mating with, and then I will leave you. It is automatic.
Yeah.
We always have that doership. When you have a doership, you have a responsibility. You don't break the social law and ethics. Ethics and moral and ethical laws applies to the human being. That is why even we keep our pets naked. We cannot live naked. Our masters have given, it is known as the dharma. What is my duty? What is my right? No, adulthood, hormonal changes, so my right is to go for a sex to anyone like animals. No, you cannot do that. You are not supposed to do that. People do that, but we are not supposed to do. Because why? Because I have a doership. I know what I'm doing. That I-ness, because I-ness is separate from my action, so that I must follow the duty. And duty means not the right. Oh, there's a 5-lane highway. Let me drive 200 miles an hour. No, that is not your right. You are a driver, you have a duty. Look at the maximum speed limit, drive below that. So you see, at a surface level, animals and we all have sexual activities. What is the goal set by the nature to those animals? to produce their offspring in a particular season, at a particular time, and then they are separate. We don't have any season. We don't find any season. Why? This is a pleasure seeking. No, it's not producing the offspring. Continue your generation. That is the main goal. That is my duty. I should get married if I have those sexual impulses, impulsive desire. Let me get married, do my duty to produce a offspring, continue the generation. Then I learn how to take care of the kids. That helps my mind to mature in a society because I'm giving everything to my kid. So I learned the art of self-giving. And once the kid is 18 years old, now I continue to keep that attitude of self-giving to the God, self-giving to the existence. I evolve. I rise in consciousness. I get awakened. So that is the process we have to undertake. So we are worse than animals, We are worse than animals, in a modern society. Do you see that we are worse than animals? I don't need to explain it. Why? It's my right, not duty. So when the doership comes, I have to find out what are my duties, what are my rights. The moment you join the session, my duty is to just start speaking. Do not waste even a single minute. My duty is your right. And your duty is my right.
Yeah.
And that is not possible in the animal kingdom. So, what is your duty? That you prove that you are a seeker. I tell the group session, you prove that you are a seeker, you are ready. You have contemplated what discussion we had in the last week, and now what we are going to have it, how to relate it. You are paying attention to the knowledge. You're not paying attention to your pets or phone or other stuff. That is your duty as a seeker. My duty as a seeker is to pass on the knowledge. So you see that everywhere, the duty of a president is not his right. Why it is not his right? Oh, many presidents have come and many have gone. I cannot exercise rights over presidentship all the time. It will be known as dictatorship, authoritarian.
Yeah.
Social revolution will start. Agitation will start. That has happened everywhere. It's a natural principle. Duty versus right. So what happened? We have to find unplugging. We are still working on the unplugging, finding the source code. Duty versus right. So first you reboot the mind, get rid of it. You understand that this is my right. I have those challenges of impulsive desires. I cannot live I'm not able to control, so I need not to become a monk. Let me get married and release that pressure in a good relationship of marriage.
Yep.
Release that pressure. So every time you go for the physical relationship consciously to check, to understand all those sensations, and because you are entering into that relationship consciously, maybe after a few months or years, you will find it's all I'm thinking of pleasure, but pleasure is not there. I already have kids and let me take care of it. As a seeker, you sit down, you talk to your honey, you say that we have done enough. So now let us be more creative. Do something else.
Yep.
So we don't learn even from lion. Lion mates lays with the lioness. They have the cubs. The lion has a duty to protect the cubs and also protect the lioness should not be hijacked by any other lion. Protection, maintenance, giving an environment to grow and evolve. That is what our masters have laid down these principles. First is the dharma, I've told you. Second is the artha. Yes, we will continue to have earn the means to live our life, to maintain our livelihood. Dharma, arth. So I have the two, and now I enter into a relationship that is known as the kama, a desire prompted life regulated by the duty, not uncontrolled. Uncontrolled animals. So if you have uncontrolled urges, better to live naked. But we become naked in society and public also, sooner or later, when we have those animal tendencies,
Yeah.
in one way or the other way. So the now artha. So three stages of the life we have crossed. So I have brought up my kids and offspring is there. I have regulated, I have arranged, so I have lot of time to devote more time in the journey of the self-discovery and meditation. I'll pick up the text and the teacher. I'll continue to be in the relationship with the teacher to reach to the highest level of that. Fourth one is the moksha. Moksha is known as the nirvana. So we have four stages of life: regulated consciously by my intellect, following certain rules, then life is good. Well, in the early stages, your mind is intensively committed to the journey of the self-discovery, like Swami Vivekananda, who visited United States. At the age of the 16, he went to his master. The master looked at him, "Oh my goodness, you are a reincarnate master." So he guided the meditation, he went under a tree and he continued to sit there for 3 days. I don't remember the American girl when he came to United States. That American girl got attracted to him. He has no sensuality, His energy was sublimated. But that girl approached him and he gave a good lecture and then said, from today you are my sister. And he said, you have to sublimate this energy. You have to work on yourself. And she became one of the very great disciples of Swami Vivekananda. Her name was changed, American name to Indian name, Sister Nivedita. There are people, there are great masters who can help you transmute your energy, provided we commit ourselves to that. And it is possible.
Yeah.
So, this is not possible in the animal kingdom. Lion, come on, I will transmute your energy. He said, first let me have you as a prey and then I will think of it. They are highly aggressive at the time of the mating. So never ever say and think that I will continue to have the same kind of mindset at the age of 70. But challenge your mind today, from today, and this week you take a decision and you decide that this is what I have decided and I will continue to evolve myself. How dare my mind continue to have the same projection at the age of the 70? It is all projection. It is an imaginary rope. And you want to continue with that same imaginary rope tied to the donkey? It does not exist. But what happens, our crazy mind thinks it exists. After all, it exists in imagination. There is no after all. What exists in imagination is imagination. That we don't realize. When you don't realize, then people continue to have the same thing. This is what my master used to say, that my eyes are open and my mind is totally overwhelmed with a dream of pleasure, of projection, of delusion. And my mind is not able to get rid of that delusion. So I'm dreaming even when I'm awake. I can get rid of, I can falsify the actual dream when I wake up. But problem is that in a waking state, I'm still in dream state, that I'm not able to wake up. Are you getting it, what I said?
You're asleep all the time.
Well, I'm sleeping all the time. Yes, yeah, I'm sleeping all the time. I'm living into, that is a very, very sorry state of affairs in our life.
One of the something I listened to a long time ago. It was one of the masters. They call it like dream one and dream two or something like that. Like,
this is the same.
Yeah. I remember hearing that a long time ago.
Yes. So I am still dreaming in a waking state. You wake up in the morning. Oh, my dad is so crazy. He did not listen to me. So what happened? Something happened yesterday, and you are thinking that he is not listening to me. You are in dream. That is one dream. You wake up on the second day, and your mind says, oh, what a beautiful girl I saw. It is unimaginable. And then you say, let me lie down. Oh, I have enough time to go to the work. Ah, it is only 6. So from 6 to 7, you repeat that dream. That is, you are seeing the dream in a waking state. I can give you 1,000,000 examples like this. When the mind continues to live into that state, then it cooks the story. Then the body undergoes a change. Then I'm able to secrete lot of hormone. And that hormone excites my my physiological and biochemicals, and I continue to live in a higher excited state. Now there is no girl. I went to the workplace and the guy is not listening to me. I get angry and agitated. So that energy is now being released here. Same thing happens in reaction, in duality, in a conflict. And that continues throughout your life, and you feel what will happen? You feel the entire world is crazy. Nobody understanding. You build your big ego. Many people live life like that.
Yeah.
You have to get rid